Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here on August 16th. This is the 5 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, and it's very similar to the 2 p.m. update. Earlier on today, Hurricane Erin went from a Category 1 as of 11 a.m. yesterday to a Category 5 storm as of 11 a.m. this morning. So this storm is a beast right now, and you can see it here, that clear eye of the hurricane as it continues to follow along areas, especially across the Leeward Islands, making a very close pass. It's about 200 miles off the coast of San Juan, so we're going to be watching this storm very closely because it is expected to make that turn as we head into later on tonight. So as we do take a look, that's what Erin is doing right now. But again, as of 24 hours ago, this storm intensified incredibly. We were talking about a Category 1 storm at 11 a.m. yesterday, and at 11 a.m. this morning, we were talking about a Category 5 storm. So basically intensifying from a Category 1 to a Category 4 overnight, quite literally over doubling in strength, holding 75 mile per hour winds as of yesterday, and now holding 160 mile per hour winds as a Category 5 hurricane, catastrophic Category 5 hurricane. Luckily though, it's not set to make any landfall, and even though it is going to be far out to shore, safely away from the East Coast, it still will be causing impacts to us here in Central Florida, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But let's get to the track, because as of later on tonight, it is set to start to make that turn. So there's Erin right now. Underneath that 5, you can clearly see that eye of the hurricane. And as we continue to follow along at 8 p.m. tonight, slowly starting to see that weakening happen as it makes its way into just a touch of cooler water. So going actually strengthen a little bit, 160 mile per hour winds as of this 2 p.m. update, 8 p.m. update, 165 mile per hour winds, and just continuing to hold that Category 5 strength until tomorrow morning before it slowly starts to weaken as it follows up the East Coast, holding Category 4 from now until it passes in between the Carolina coast and Bermuda. So this is a beast of a storm. And as we take a look at those models, we're starting to see our Fox model really start to go within the center of the cone. So overall, over the next couple of days, we're going to start to see that cone really get a lot more focused. And right now, our Fox model basically putting in the dead center of this cone as we continue to monitor Erin. And again, this is going to pass safely away from the East Coast. However, there is going to be a little bit of impacts, not only with just some of the outer bands slowly moving into Central Florida as we take a look Tuesday and Wednesday, but also we are going to feel that surf. So overall, as we do take a look at this model right here, the cone, the western part of that cone is significantly off the East Coast, and hopefully those trends stick that way. But taking a look at the analysis, we'll take roughly around Cape Canaveral and bring you all the way to the western side of that cone. This is the furthest west the eye is expected to be, and it's still about 430 miles off the coast. So we have a good amount of breathing room, but it is still a little bit close. So as we do take a look at the impacts of what we could be feeling here in Central Florida, it is, of course, going to be very rough surf. From Sunday to about Thursday, you will notice those waves are going to be huge. We're talking large breaking waves, strong, long swells. So this is going to be perfect for surfers, but any swimmers, this is quite literally life-threatening surf right here. So large breaking waves, strong rip currents. My best advice, stay out of the water if you can. And as we do take a look a little bit closer to home, we are going to once again be seeing anywhere between 8 and 12-foot surf as we take a look from about Sunday to Thursday before we start to see those waters really start to calm down. And even if you are planning on going up the East Coast, planning on going to Virginia Beach, even up to New England, Bar Harbor area, it's still going to be roughening up the beaches well along the East Coast, even as we take a look ahead to the end of next week as Erin just continues to follow up the coast. So that's what we could be seeing here for threats here across Central Florida. So just make sure, again, you are following the rest of the storm team to get the latest on Erin. But overall, hurricane hunters are actually in the storm right now. They're doing a low-level data collection, and they're going to be leaving from St. Croix and headed into the storm as we speak right now. So we're going to continue to monitor that, as it's going to really tell us what is happening within the storm and if the storm is going to weaken before it does make that expected curve. So that's what we're looking at for Erin right now. Another area that we're watching is a small zone just off the Carolina coastline. We can see a little cluster of storms right here, that 10% chance of development. But luckily, all of these storms not very organized, and this is going to continue to drift north into some cooler water, which is going to obviously limit that of the development process as we see with that storm. Also going to be keeping an eye on not only Erin, but unfortunately Erin has friends. So as we take a look off the coast of Africa, we have not one, not two, but 3 tropical waves that we're going to be watching. And pretty much from here on out, it is going to be one storm after another as we take a look at the rest of the season, coming especially off the African coastline. So as we do take a look at the names, and we're going to be seeing Fernand, Gabrielle, Umberto, and Imelda coming up as the next 4 names. But overall, we're going to continue to watch Erin very closely as we take a look through the rest of the evening as it continues to hold that Category 5 status. Make sure you have that Fox Local app downloaded, and make sure you follow all the rest of the members of the Fox 35 Storm team so you don't miss a tropical update. Have a great night.